Hey guys, this is Billy here. My presentation is about the importance of the role of arousal and anxiety in performance. And as you see, you lift like a girl. I'm gonna go into why that's on this main screen here in a second, but just keep that term in your head. So, according to Walton and Wust, hope I pronounced that correctly, in our text, optimal arousal is important for superior performance. The level of optimal arousal varies according to the individual and the sport. Now, why is this important? So, I have an example. There is this woman in 2019 who was preparing for her first actual powerlifting competition. And she was getting absolutely annoyed at herself because she could not best her personal best at 120 pounds for her bench press. No matter what she did, her training, no matter how hard she hit it, she just could not get over her personal best. So, Coach Archibald, who is a Olympic weightlifting and strength and conditioning coach, um, went to her and said, "Okay, what makes you aroused? What do you think about that gets your heart pumping? Like, what makes you get mad at the bar?" And Jenkins basically said that she didn't get mad. She was pretty even keel, very even temperament. Like, she just did not get mad at people, which means she didn't have much of an arousal at all. Which, as you know, for performance, we have to have that arousal. So he said, "Well, something's going to make you mad, right?" And she said, "Okay, you know what? The only thing that really gets me going is when somebody looks at me and says, 'I lift like a girl.'" So Coach Archibald sat there for a second and he said, "Okay, you know what? I think I can fix this." So he had her get down again and he put 135 pounds on the bar and said, "You know what? Try lifting this right now." She's like, "I can't do this. This is insane." And he said, "No, you know what? It's fine. I'm right here. I'm spotting you. Try and lift this again." And so she's like, "Okay." And they take it out of the rack and she lets it fall down to her chest. And just before she goes to push it up, he says to her, "Don't lift this like a girl again." And Jenkins got so mad, she basically threw that bar up into the air, into the rack. She got up and she said, "What on earth, man? Why did you say that when you know that I told you that it upsets me? It makes me angry." And Coach Archibald stood back, lifted up his hands, and he's like, "Hey, girl, you just dominated your personal best score because you got angry. You got aroused. Your heartbeat started going, your blood started flowing, your oxygen levels increased because you started, getting mad and breathing heavy, and you just threw that thing through the roof like it was nothing." Jenkins was like, "You know what? Oh my gosh, he's onto something." So we have to go back to the text now and think of the drive theory and the inverted U theory. But both of these have to do with her performance because the inverted U theory, she just had too little arousal. So her performance was poor because she just didn't have that drive. She didn't have anything behind her going, "You can do this. It doesn't matter. You're gonna do this." Pumped up, whatever. But you have to be careful because even though her level of arousal raised, and whatnot, you can go the other way. It can make you not focus. It can cause injuries or whatever. So, you know, got to be careful about the factors that influence intensity levels of arousal. Then hers was just enough. He was able to push her just enough to get her body pumping and give a better performance. But you gotta put you gotta take into consideration the individual themselves, the environment, and what you're asking them to do, the sport. What level do they need? A chess player is not going to need the same level or same kind of arousal, say somebody who's playing rugby is going to need. So you got to be very careful with the levels and how you go about arousing yourself and what anxiety and everything that you allow to basically have a part in your performance. So here are my references. I hope that y'all enjoyed listening to this presentation of mine, and I hope you have a good day.